Well, with former U.S. Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer not being named to the cabinet, questions remain on his influence in the new Trump administration. Host of Real Ag Radio, Shaun Haney, joins us now with the latest on this. Shaun, good to have you with us. So what's being reported regarding why Ambassador Lighthizer is not in Trump's cabinet?
There's been a lot of speculation about, who is going to be in the cabinet, who wasn't. One of the people that I think a lot of Washington insiders thought would be in the cabinet for sure, in some respect, was former USTA Robert Lighthizer. During the Biden administration, Ambassador Lighthizer put out a book about there's no such thing as free trade, really talked about and triumphed some of the key points of the Trump trade agenda. So obviously he was it's rumored that he was looking for a position like the Commerce Secretary or the Treasury Department. He did not get those, did not want to go back to being the USTR again, according to some reports. Some media outlets are saying that he was essentially frozen out. Trump has been spreading word that he didn't necessarily think big enough or didn't want to be aggressive enough. He was essentially a brake pedal on some of his biggest ideas. But the Wall Street Journal is another example where they're reporting that he is going to have some outside influence as the USTR that was appointed, Ambassador Greer, he's a protege of Robert Lighthizer. So I guess time will tell on the level of influence.
Right. I knew that choice. Yeah, was definitely that protege. So how does his omission impact North American trade negotiations going forward?
Yeah, so time is going to tell there. And obviously a key component or a key variable here is how much outside influence he is going to have. But essentially, based on the retirement of former trade negotiator Steve Rahul for Canada, we're going to have two new chief negotiators across the table from each other between Canada and the U.S. And there's a lot of trade issues to work out, of course, one of them being the potential for this 25% tariff on all goods coming to the U.S. from Canada. This means there's going to be a feeling out period. There's an element here of starting fresh. Now, that can be a positive because we put some of the past disagreements behind us, or maybe the personality clashes. But it also could be bad in the sense that the former trade negotiators found a deal. They found a compromise. Time will tell how much compromise there'll be going forward between Canada and the U.S. on trade.
Now, understand that he also published an opinion column in the Globe and Mail referencing his negotiations with Lighthizer. What were those insights? Any more in-depth into that?
Yeah, Steve Rahul, the former trade negotiator for Canada, has put a column in the Globe and Mail, one of Canada's national newspapers. He indicates now the opinion column is really about how Canada needs to get organized and have this solidified Team Canada approach like last time. But later on in the opinion column, he talks about how the last time the Team Canada was very solidified and they were more organized than the U.S. side, and mainly around the idea of involving labor and industry in the strategy scenarios. He felt the U.S. side and USTR Lighthizer didn't necessarily consult industry and labor as much as Canada did, and the Team Canada initiative had highly gamed out strategies and scenarios. But I will say this: he's very complimentary of Ambassador Lighthizer. I've interviewed Mr. Rahul on several occasions, and he talked about how he was a tough negotiating foe.
Interesting. Always good insight from you. That's host of Real Ag Radio, Shaun Haney. Appreciate you being with us today. And you can catch Shaun on his show, Real Ag Radio, which airs at 4:30 p.m. Eastern weekdays on Rural Radio, Channel 147 on Sirius XM. And we'll visit with him again tomorrow on Market Day Report.